Hey, what's going on, guys? We're back for another RL video. Today we are going to be looking at every mod, super quick, super simple, basically what everything does, so you actually can grasp how great it is. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, for our first mod, we have the Advanced Hooks mod, and it adds a bunch of things such as a web hook launcher, a spear hook launcher. So the spear hook launcher, you can shoot it, let go, and you can hold, and it'll drag you there, and then you can just move it. I'm in creative, so. And then the webhook launcher, if you find yourself a mob, shoot the sheep, and then watch. You're attached to it, so you can drag it, so this is helpful for like villagers and stuff. You can also drag it like so. Really useful stuff. Alright, next up is the Advanced Fishing mod, which adds this new blazing fishing pole, and it allows you to catch any of these fish. It's really cool. And you can catch Magikarp, you can catch sunfish, it's really cool. And yeah, it works just like a basic fishing rod. There are going to be some mods such as Alcatraz Core, which is the next one up, which is purely for helping the mod creator either make the mod itself or to create mod packs. It's truly just that use. So there's going to be like 10 of them or so. So if you're not interested in that, then I'll go over them quick. Next up is Antique Atlas. Here, I'll put an image right here. And basically what it does is it adds like sort of a unique version of the maps. And it looks fantastic if you ask me. Alright, this next mod is the Anvil patch, which basically makes it... Oh wow, that was wonky. Anyway, basically makes it to where you can actually continue to level up items and whatnot. There's no max advancement costs and certain things cost more. It just makes a lot more sense within the Minecraft game. This is an expansion of Minecraft's base fishing system, which allows you to catch over 30 new fish with new rods and tools and whatnot. Each biome will have different types of fish that you can catch and plenty of new loot, such as the Neptunium helmet, the Neptunium set, essentially. It's really cool. Definitely recommend it. And a ton of enchantments for fishing rods as well. This next mod is the Armor Underwear. And essentially what it does is you can take armor, such as chestplate, diamond chestplate, combine it and add warm lining. This mod is made for the Toughest Nails mod, which has temperature control. So if you ever go into like snowy biomes or something, bring one of these. Alright, next up is the Artemis Lib. Well, our Artemis Library, and it's just another thing to help mod creators. There's also the Auto Rake Lib, which is right after it, which also is modification thing. Alright, next up is the Battle Towers mod, which adds a ton of different tower variations and where you can usually find loot. And then at the bottom, there's usually golems, so be wary of that. Alright, this next mod is the Bubbles mod, which essentially gives you this whole new inventory. So if I do bubbles, you can wear different things such as like rings. You put them right there, and now you're wearing that ring. Or pendants, right? You can wear the necklace like that, and it'll actually appear on your character. And there's also a Bubbles HUD, by the way, just to know. Alright, next up is the Blood Moon mod, which essentially, see the moon over there? Makes it red, and it makes all the different mobs and whatnot spawn closer to you, and more dangerous and more frequently. Next up is the Simple Campfire mod, which allows you to place down campfires. You can cook food on here, and when you're done with it, you can get rid of it, and it'll leave a little ash residue, which is kind of weird. Yeah. Alright, next up is Carrot's Library, which is, again, another thing for mod pack creators. This next mod is called Carry On. And with the Carry On mod, you can pick up both chests and other mobs by shifting and, not left clicking, and right clicking. Here, shift, come here. There we go. Let me pick you up. There. You can pick... This next mod is the Chunk Animator, so essentially when you load into the game or you go places a little bit more, the chunks load in like that, how they just kind of drag up. Alright, this next mod is called Comforts, and Comforts essentially adds hammocks and sleeping bags. So you can place hammocks from, like tree branches and whatnot. It's really cool, and sleeping bags you can place down, line them. Just like a bed, except it doesn't set your spawn point. Next up is the Compath skills, which again is only for mod pack designers. Next up is Coral Reef, which adds, obviously, Coral Reef to your world like so, just to spruce it up a bit, because this was before 1.13, and they didn't have coral, but now we do. Alright, next up is the Corpse Complex mod, which allows you to have certain changes to what happens when you die. If you save some items, if you lose all your items, if it's in a gravestone or something, you can change it all. Where is the skeleton with the trumpet? I swear to God, interrupting my video. Where is he? I hear him. I'm not insane. Where is he? Is he over here? He's down here, probably. There you are, you mother. Alright, next up is the Better Survival mod, which essentially adds a bunch of really cool new weapons, enchantments, and other ways to be more strategic. You can beat up zombies with nunchucks. Really cool. And then there's also stone hammers and whatnot. It's really cool, and you can even dual wield like this. Really a cool addition to this mod pack. Alright, next up is the Better Combat, which allows you to do this dual wielding, and also allows you to configure like how you actually want to fight. If you want the hit system that works really well, or if you want something else. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Alright, next up is the Better Foliage, which is essentially what you see right here, with the trees looking really nice with these extra leaf details. It's pretty cool. Next up is the Bountiful Baubles, which allows you to have crowns. There's a balloon, there's forbidden fruit, a lot of really cool things, and then there's also additional things that you can put into your inventory, like rings, which allow you to have certain abilities within survival mode. Alright, next is the Disenchanter mod, which gives you a ton of different disenchantment tables, such as, if you want to get rid of items, if it's automatic voiding, bulk, and yeah, it's really cool. Next up is Doom-like Dungeons, which Doom-like Dungeons adds just more dungeons and works with a bunch of other mods. Next up is the Dynamic Surroundings, which adds more sounds to grass. It puts footprints, as you can see behind me, and also adds just better overall sounds to the game. More dynamic. You can hear different things. It's really cool, and bees, and oh my gosh, there's a lot. Next up is the Familiar Fauna, which adds butterflies, deer, dragonflies, pixie, snails, turkeys, bug net, which you can use to get bugs. What is this? You can also kill deers if you want to for venison. Alright, ow. What is attacking me? No, stop. Okay, I'm just trying to show. Alright. Next up is the fancy, so when you break a block, it does all this really cool stuff. There's a 3D animation. Very nice. And also when you place the blocks, they have this little ripple. Next up, there's a bunch more mod helper things. There's Flamelib, Foam Fix, Forge Endertech, Forge Lin. So those are a bunch more if you're interested. Next up is First Aid, where there's bandages, there's band-aids, there's morphine, and different things. So when you lose health, you use these to fix and patch yourself up. Like, say my head. And I'll get patched up on these different areas to regain my health. Alright, next up is Food Expansion, which adds a ton more food. Green jelly, bacon, eggs, oh my goodness, raw llama, polar bear, ocelot, wolf meat. That's inhumane. And lollipops. Very nice. Is the craftable chainmail mod, which essentially makes it so you can actually craft chain helmets with chainmail plates in certain fashions, and you can craft chainmail plates with iron nuggets in a square formation. Really cool, makes a really easy way to get chain armor. Next is craftable horse armor mod, which allows you to craft armor for your horses. So, you know, makes it a little bit easier instead of finding dungeons. The next mods that we're covering is Craft Tweaker and Creative Core, which these two mods, help with, once again, more modpack stuff. Next up is a really big modpack. It comes with a bunch of new mobs like the Shambler, Twisted Shambler, Scuttler, Host, Defiled Slime, Bookworm, the Mourner, which the Mourner can be summoned with Conjuring Altars, and a little item that you also get. They can be found in this biome right here. Really cool. And there's also armor, bookworm scale helmets, which you get from killing bookworms, different weapons, more baubles and whatnot. It's really cool. Next up is the grapple mod, which with the grapple mod, not gapple, grapple. The grapple mod, it adds a ton, like the grappling hook, ender staff, magnetic force field. Ender staff sort of just launches you. Really cool. The grappling hook helps you like swing from places. Really cool. Oh yeah, and then this is what happens with the magnetic force field. You get put in sort of in a bubble, and you just, on water, you're just invincible. Oh gosh. This is now one of the biggest mods within it. It is the Ice and Fire mod, which adds the dragons, of course, that everyone despises. The villagers, Gorgons, Cyclops, it's just so much stuff and a ton of new armor. This is all from this one mod. It's insane. Like Dragon Boat, what? It's practically makes the game feel like Skyrim. Sorry about that. Yeah, it just adds all these crazy mobs. And yeah, those are some small dragons, but the Ice and Fire Dragon like to fight, so that's kind of cool. Okay, that's a lot of danger. Hold up. Bye. Next is the Infernal mobs, which occasionally on a rare spawn of certain here, let's see if I can spawn one. Kind of a rare spawn. Anyways, it sort of adds this little effect which makes the mob more powerful and have certain abilities. Next is inventory tweaks, which adds little things to like sort items and whatnot, and chests. So like, you know, if you have just items everywhere, a big mess in your inventory, just shift middle click, boom, all fixed. Alright, next up is item physics, which item physics makes it so you can throw items and they'll like lay on the ground like so, and you can also throw items, just absolutely fling them. It doesn't do any damage, but you know, makes it look really cool. Next is IV Toolkit. Yeah, oh wait. No, my lights! Next is IV Toolkit, which IV Toolkit is just another mod thing. Next up is Just Enough Items. Just Enough Items provides this great menu which you can configure to different things, and you know, if you want to grab items, or let's say, or different things, or you want to know the crafting recipe, then it shows it, or you know, like what has it for pretty much every it has it for every item that's craftable. Alright, next is Level Up, where it allows you to select your class and also different other things. For me, it's a little bugged, so I can't select it currently, but you should be able to go into options and controls and find it there. Next is LL Library, which is another thing for mod creators. So Lost Cities is where you can create a new world, and you can select it to be Lost Cities. And in Lost Cities, they can generate tons of different structures. The mobs spawn in certain structures regardless of light levels. It's a very interesting way to play RLCraft, or just the game in general. Here, let's let it load for a second. Yeah, so there's lots of cities within the world, like such as this. There's towers. Really adds just like a lot more to the world. I don't know, you can have this enabled or not, it just adds a lot more things. Alright, this is probably the biggest and most complex out of all things. This is Lysonite's mobs, and it adds tons of mobs, items, like, what even is this? And it's, okay, those guys fight, okay. What is that?
Take your treat.
Oh, look at that. And then there's also this Halloween treat thing, where you can get good stuff, or you can get bad stuff.
It's a treat.
Look at that. That's cool. Next up is Forgotten Items, which adds a ton more, like the Explosion Pickaxe, like Gamble Pickaxe, the Golem set, there's just Talisman. It's really cool. Oh my gosh. It's Ender Talisman, you can just throw it like an Ender Pearl. Really cool. And then also Golem Armor, which looks pretty dope, really. Like, look at that. Wow. Alright, next up is the Global Game Rules, which essentially shut up. All it does is make it so you can modify different things for your mod within your world. A really useful thing. Next up is Orlib, which is Ore Library, and another mod thing. Now it's Potion Core. Potion Core adds a lot more potions that we're missing, like Saturation, Heat Resistance, Mining Fatigue. Oh, and there's a bunch of other potions. So with other mod, but yeah, it adds a bunch more potions with effects that are currently in the game, but you can't make into potions. Potion Fingers is also another potion-like mod where you get rings with different effects, and you can take these rings and place them onto here, and then you have permanent those effects. So you can have, like regen and strength. Who is calling me while I'm recording? Quality Tools. And with Quality Tools, it adds different things to different items. So here, let me grab myself a couple diamond pickaxes. And if you look, oh no. Okay, well if you look, if I open up my full inventory, oh my gosh, does it still not display? There we go. Never mind it. Quality Worthless. Pokey. Nothing. Worthless. Sharp, thin, long. There's all these different qualities that it comes with. And so, different ore things, and I have my glasses on. Ore stuff has stuff. Alright, next is Stairs. Well, not stairs, but bench mod, essentially where you can sit down on stairs and slabs. Next up is realistic torches. So now, instead of, the simple basic torches, there are torches, unlit torch, and lit torch. So there's just a normal torches, right? But you actually have to light the torches when you craft them. And then they become lit torches afterwards. You usually use like a matchbox or something, which is pretty simply crafted with paper and other materials. Alright, next is Recurrent Complex, which once again is another structure mod. There's lots of structures that it spawns in. Let's see if I can find one real quick. Yeah, like this. Here we go. Here's like an abandoned village. So sometimes there's loot, sometimes it's a dungeon, other times it's not. Next up is Reskillable. Reskillable is a mod where essentially, instead of just using items, because, there's no fun in that, you have a separate little skills thing, and you can upgrade different skills with XP. Like so. And it costs different amounts of XP, and then you can become, really good at things. and there's different perks, skill points that you get. Really cool. Another dungeon mod, which, oh gosh, provides a lot of underground dungeons. Yeah, it's, I don't know, it's just more dungeons to add to the game. Hello. Oh wow. Alright, next up is moretingz, which essentially adds, like let's say there's, what, a spider, or, yeah, let's do a spider, zombie, let's also do a skeleton. So it makes it a little bit more realistic, as you can see with their legs. Zombies hunch over, skeletons have a little bend to their knees. Okay, that was smart, but yeah. Just makes them, you know, look a little cool. Next up is multi-mine, which allows you to break blocks, like partially. Like that's only part of the way multiple blocks. Oh, no lag spike, but yeah, you can break, and then they'll slowly put themselves back together. Alright. Next up is neat, and with neat, it shows the health bar of different mobs. You know, no matter the mod pack. I think they all have it. It's really cool. Alright, next mod is no tree punching, which is probably the most annoying mod out of all of these. Is you start out, you can't punch trees. It just, you won't get anything. So what you have to do is you have to first craft a flint thing. Just, you gotta get some flint, and you gotta make flint tools to cut it down, and you also have to get planks by just sort of shearing it. Oh, hi. Do you kill me? Oh my gosh, you look like, oh no 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 no. Alright, next up is Spartan and Fire, and Spartan and Fire adds Dragon Bone, which is a ton of swords, like Ice Dragon Bone, Flame Dragon Bone swords, weapons, extremely powerful. I mean, look at that. 8 attack damage. Pretty cool looking as well. Yeah. Next up is Spartan Shields, which adds like more shields obviously, and a bunch of really cool weapons, and you can equip the shield just like normal. You can just put it right there and block with it. You know, you can iron shield, and then there's also different pikes. Right, these are pikes, right? Oh, halberds. Yeah, but they're really cool. Spawn. This mob spawner modifier, which makes it so you can't have mob grinders anymore with spawners, unfortunately. But it's to prevent different things that's happening. But you do get items when you just an extra XP when you break spawners now. Next up is to swing through grass. So like, let's say you're fighting silverfish, you can still hit them through the grass. So that oh my god. Next up is the Campfire Spit mod, and where you can have a campfire and then place a spit over it and then cook food. Alright, next up is Tick Profiler, which is another thing for mod creators and mod pack creators to edit, exercise, and use to make more mods. Next up is Rough Tweaks, which is once again another mod thing to help make things actually work together. Ruins is another in-game structure generator. This is where you get like pirate ships and other structures like that, to where it can be, you know, abandoned houses and whatnot. It's one of the ones that really adds, like, I think that hot air balloon is from it. I believe there's some more over here. Yeah, sunken sea ships. There's a lot of stuff that it comes with. Next is Scaling Health, which is a mod that you can change your health based on how difficult you want it to be. So you can lower your health down to, like, let's say 3 hearts, or you can also have it at, you know, an extra 25 hearts, because RLCraft is hard and you get one shot by dragons. Next up is Serene Season, which you know, changes the season based on where you are and the amount of time that passes in your Minecraft world. So, you know, as time changes, the trees change, the water changes. Some mobs do as well, but you know, right now it's just summer, and also the grass will change. Kind of cool. Next up is Silent Live, which is once again another mod thing. Next up is So Many Enchantments. So Many Enchantments, it adds obviously a ton of new advanced smite, cursed edge, like 4 pages of books. It's just advanced, powerless. It's crazy. Next up is sound filters, and with sound filters, it modifies the sound. Like let's say you're in a cave or in like a hollowed out room. Let's go down here. It has a different sound to it. Your steps have like an echo. Water has an echo. Just like slight things like that. Alright, now we have the Tumbleweed mod. Now, I went searching for a desert for, not even kidding you, 10 minutes, and I could not find one, and I just kind of gave up, because this is a long list. But basically, these tumbleweeds spawn around and in like desert biomes, and you can get diamonds, name tags, a bunch of random items out of it. It's really cool. Alright, this next mod is called Commodities. And with Commodities, it adds a lot of different, you know, there's artifacts, there's new weapons, there's lots of tools, there's really cool emerald armor. Like, what the heck? Full armor? Kidding me, right? Whatever reason you can't craft a full diamond chest? I don't know. But yeah, it adds furniture as well, which is really cool. You have an actual table. Okay, that's fine. Modpack doesn't like it too much. Turns it into glass. But yeah, you got tables. Alright, we're getting near the end, guys. Last bit is Waystones. Now, Waystones are probably one of the best additions into the game. You can place down Waystones or find them in villages or just around biomes. That's really cool. You can just say home, let's say. And home. And when you hear that, and then we can set another one. I wouldn't recommend putting it over there, but like W. You can just teleport over there. Really cool, really useful. All right, next up is backpacks. With backpacks, you can put items in them. So like, you know, that, and you can shift right, well, in survival mode, you'd shift right click, and the backpack would get placed onto your back. Here, let me do that real quick. And all you have to do is place that down, and then you can shift right click. Ow, no. Oh my god, this mod. Serious, oh my, dude, leave me alone. No, sirens. Oh my god, interrupting my video, no. Okay, I'm going over to the Spire ship. Next is, oh gosh, wearable wolf armor. So basically, you can put this on your wolf. It's really cool. So yeah, I'll probably need to tame it real quick. Boom. Okay, so you got a wolf, you can tame him. Oh, he loved me right away. You can put armor on him. All right, next is the XP book, and with the XP book, you can store and take XP from here, so if you die, you don't lose all your XP. Next one is TNT Utilities, and with TNT Utilities, it just makes it so you can modify TNT in the way that you would like, you know, so the explosion's not as big, or, you know, it doesn't drop items, only a certain number of items are dropped, or other things like that. Next up is the tool belt mod, which with the tool belt is you can take the tool belt and you can put items in it and you can equip it in your baubles inventory right there. It gives you a little belt. It just looks, and then it has your items on the side, and you can access that by having different, you have to set it up in controls, so you can swap items out, or you can just grab an item entirely. Really useful. Next is tough as, oh gosh, no, please go away. Just want to show a mod. No, please. Oh, stop. bad. You may be... Okay, basically, it adds the weather, so if you're in a really cold area, then you can get like hypothermia, and if you're in a really warm area, then... No, oh my gosh, you scared me. You hit me in the head. You hit me in the head twice. Yikes. Alright, next is Traverse or Traverse Legacy, and what it does is that it adds more biomes to just to your Minecraft world, so there's a little bit more variety. Up is Trinkets and Baubles, which with Trinket and Baubles it just adds more things. Adds more things like, you know, just trinkets and baubles like Stone of Negative Gravity, Ring of Enchanted Eyes, Stone of the Sea, just Ender Queen, like, it's just so much. Ring of the Dwarves, I mean, come on. Now probably one of the most famous mods of this entire mod pack is the Trumpet Skeleton. And you place a trumpet at random times. And they're really annoying. They do damage to you. Oh my gosh, what have I done? But yeah, but you can get the trumpet from them. It has a cool little animation. You can play with them. But it bounces mobs back. Oop. Next up is this Tishad. It's another friggin' thing for mod creators. And our final mod is XP from Harvest. And XP from Harvest makes it so things like harvesting wheat you get XP from. And I think that pretty much covers everything in the mod. I will make more detailed information videos about the individual mods like Lysonate's Mobs, which, you know, does insane amounts of added things to it. But anyways, if you're new here, please subscribe. I'm small, but who cares? Who cares? Subscribe, like, and I will see you next time.